back to my channel. I am Chris and this is Chris Connected. If you are a current subscriber, thank you so much for your likes, your comments, and subscribing. If you are not a current subscriber, please consider subscribing. I am doing Vlogtober, so you never know what's going to pop up on my videos this month. And yeah, come along. I'm normally a weight loss channel and I talk about my weight loss journey and stuff like that, but since this is Vlogtober, who knows what's going to be in here. So I am currently at what we call the transfer station. You may call it a dump in your area, and I wanted to show you guys because my town actually recycles and we have all kinds of separate piles for stuff, so check it out. Okay, so they are crazy busy today, so I'm going to try to do this quick because there's so many cars coming in and out. So there's like a dumpster thing over there that people can put plastics in, like plastic, patio furniture, broken kids' toys, that kind of thing. And then if I pan around, that's where they usually put like furniture and stuff, like couches and old mattresses. You can see some mattresses there. There's all kinds of them. I would recommend leaving them there. Some people will take them thinking that like, oh, it's fine, it still looks usable and whatnot. Yeah, I wouldn't. And then over here is like for concrete and bricks, and I think that's plasterboard and stuff like that. And then over there is the wood pile. They don't do pressure treated wood because they have a wood chipper that comes over, like a crazy high, like powered kind of thing that chips all the wood, so they don't take the pressure treated wood because they can't chip that. And then right behind the wood pile where you see all the brush and stuff, that's a brush pile. Go figure. And then over there, oh, some guy lost his hat because it was windy. Over there is a mulch pile, and I will continue on in a second. I've got some vehicles like blocking the rest of it. I forgot to mention the wood pile. That's where you'll also find a lot of furniture like tables, bookshelves, bureaus, desks, that sort of thing. And that's the pile that I had scored that table from that I had painted in one of my other videos. Okay, so over there is the metal pile, and then you can find all kinds of stuff in there that's pretty cool. There's grills and stuff that you can find. We have an air conditioner pile and a fridge pile, and over here is like glass, and you can find a lot of windows and stuff. And then that building there is what we call, I call it the dump store. It's probably called the transfer station store. In there you'll find usable kids' toys, kids' clothes, adult clothes. There'll also be lamps, dishes, lots of books. Sometimes you'll find records and CDs, that sort of thing. And then they set up these tables while the weather is still decent. You know, before it snows and whatnot. Kind of looks like yard sale tables, and that's just makes it for a quick drop off if you just want to set something down real quick, and you never know what you can find in there. And for the most part, everything that I've gotten from here does work. I didn't get a shot of it, but there is also back where all the piles are, there is also a pile for electronics, so they'll put like the TVs and stuff like that. And then over there is part of the warehouse building, and that's where you go inside for the recycles and stuff, paper, plastic, that sort of thing. And then they also have a couple of Salvation Army donation bins, and we're going to be putting stuff in there today too. All right. I dropped off my kids at a local place that I think I mentioned the other day, where they can go in and play on computers and play a game that they really like called Fortnite. So I have a couple of hours to myself, and I was going to go to a local place that I love to go for breakfast, and they're usually open until 3. And but for some reason they closed at 1 today, so I couldn't get breakfast there, so that kind of sucked. So my only other options were either Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's, and I actually swung into Dunkin' for my kids before dropping them off, and a lot of their food doesn't agree with me anymore, so I'm like, okay, I'll go into McD's. And I just got out of there, and I read an article in today's newspaper. Yes, it was an actual paper that I held in my hands and did not read electronically. Imagine that. And the article was talking about food, and I thought, well, hey, that's something that I can share on my weight loss journey channel. So the article was basically talking about how our society has created a huge disconnect between what we put into our bodies and where it actually comes from. And they were talking about how it's so easy now to just use an app on your phone or hop online or call up a place and get food delivered to you. And it said that even though there are services that will send you fresh food, you can still cook it yourself. People don't really think about where it actually comes from. And they also said that there are other services that everything is already cooked for you. You just either boil it in water or you pop it in the microwave and you warm it up and that's it. What I found really interesting is that it was talking about how food usually helps us make some sort of connection. And the connection happens like gathering around the table in some form with either friends or family. And it helps us create memories, and it helps with like attachments to food. Like, maybe your mom made really good meatloaf, or everyone, had spaghetti and meatballs, and, like stuff like that creates memories for you. And using these services takes that away. Now, my reflection on that was maybe that could potentially be a good thing. I was an emotional eater for a very, very, very long time. And I would use food for everything. I'm having a great day. I'm going to go have a treat. I'm having a bad day. I deserve some ice cream. It was all food centered, but in a negative way. So that was my first thought. And then the article goes into talking about how a lot of kids that go to college or they go out on their own, they don't know how to cook. They have no clue. They're used to either, opening the fridge or freezer, popping in a meal and warming it up, and that's it. They have no clue how to cook. And that makes a lot of sense, and that's something that society has created. So I'm kind of curious, guys, like, what do you think? Do you think that the food service is creating these problems for the generation that's growing up now, that they're not going to have that connection and they're not going to know how to cook, and it's going to create more problems than it's solving? I mean, I had a food delivery service for a little bit, and it absolutely has its benefits. It saves time, and there's all kinds of benefits in my opinion. So I'm not saying one way or the other, but it really made me think about it. So I'm kind of curious on what you guys think too. Let me know. Hey, so we are back home and I am winding down for the day. I've got one kid in the shower, another one chilling out in front of the computer. I'm probably going to be doing the same thing in a little bit. I may actually try and get some work done since I totally skipped out on that on Friday. Yeah, it was a pretty good day. We got to, get a little bit of stuff done. The kids got to play, and I did do some shopping when I dropped them off. I didn't mention that earlier. I went over to Goodwill after breakfast, and I was looking for some jeans. Yes, I know that I said I just bought some jeans slash pants at Old Navy last weekend, I think. But those are slightly snug. Um, so like they're not comfortable at the moment, but I picked them up because one, they were on sale and I love Old Navy jeans, they fit me great, and two, I will be able to wear those probably in about 5 pounds. So yeah, totally worth it to get them now. But I picked up a pair of jeans at Goodwill because I have one pair of pants that kind of needs to be replaced because they're wearing out, and another pair that needs to be replaced because they are too big. So I found a pair that fits me really good, $6, you can't really beat that. And then we went over to Walmart to check for something after I picked up the kids from their gaming place, and I found a pair of shoes. Now here's something interesting, is that before, and I actually thought of it the other day, I've lost about 20 pounds. I'm going between 18 and 20 because I'm fluctuating by 2 pounds again. But before I lost that weight, I was a size 8 in shoes, and I tried on a pair of boots the other day. So I have a pair, because I just got rid of them, because I had a pair of black boots and they were too big. I wore them the other night when I went out, and my feet felt like they were just gonna like fall out of them. They kept slipping every time I stepped. So those were an 8, they're too big. And they were actually tight when I had bought them, and they zip up the side, so I couldn't even like zip them all the way because the lower part of my calf was too big. So I got rid of those, went to Walmart today, and I was looking through the boots, like dressy work type boots. I call them booties because they come like just up to, like past your ankle, almost like a high top sneaker. And so I tried on a pair of those, and they were a 7.5, and they were still kind of big. So I thought, well, I need to get a 7 then, and I couldn't find a 7. I was kind of bummed because they were really similar to what I'd been looking for a while. And so I happened to find a 6.5, kind of not where they belonged, and I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. They're going to be too tight, but I'll give it a shot. And they actually fit. So that was surprising. So I almost went down 2 sizes in my feet, to go along with 2 sizes of pants and my 2 sizes in shirts. So that was like really weird and kind of cool at the same time. So yeah. But I think I'm gonna call it a day, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. I may have some sort of announcement in the morning. It depends on how my morning goes. Yeah, we'll see. But as always, guys, have a great night. Have a good day if you're seeing this in the morning, and stay connected. Bye.